Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this critical dialogue on decarbonization strategies. Colleagues, despite growing momentum for global climate action in the first half of this year, it is clear that the world is not currently on pace to reach our Paris Agreement climate goals. From a carbon emissions perspective, not only have CO2 concentrations increased, but the rate of the increase has also sped up. With the energy sector being the source of 3/4 of greenhouse gas emissions, we must see a rapid transformation in how we produce, transport, and consume energy. Only a deep decarbonization pathway gets us to net zero emissions by 2050. So, how do we get there from here? While energy transition strategies will help us achieve our collective climate goals, coming up with the right mix of the equation will be challenging. That's why, when it comes to energy decision-making, it is vital that we act holistically, all along the energy value chain. It's not enough to pick the low-hanging fruit of replacing one energy-polluting activity with a slightly less climate-damaging alternative. Shifting to less carbon-intensive energy sources remains important, of course, but that alone does not get us to our climate goals. Proven technologies for a net-zero energy system already exist. Some renewables are now the cheapest option to produce electricity in many parts of the world, but deployment must be accelerated. The efficiency of energy consumption needs also to be further enhanced. And finally, we must innovate and satisfy our core needs with alternative products and services that are less energy intensive. Governments must lead the way in planning and promoting the required energy infrastructure investment, including in matters of transmission and distribution. But it is more fundamental than just investment dollars. It is long past time for there to be an integration of climate change considerations in all fiscal and financial decisions. For governments, that means systemic change, integrating sustainability and resilience at all levels, consistently applying them throughout all ministries, and ensuring that they permeate all jurisdictions. Certainly, long-term low-emission development strategies is critical to the process. Strategically, nations could, among other things, transform their long-term strategies into a portfolio of projects and an investment roadmap. Identify where there may be technology, finance, and policy gaps. Issue sovereign green bonds for the financing of projects and use long-term strategies to inform the preparation of their NDCs. In the final weeks of 2020, our Secretariat received more low-emissions development plans, bringing a total of 28 parties that have now communicated with us concerning their long-term strategies. Even though renewable energy generation is the most frequently communicated mitigation measure in the NDCs, only a handful of countries have included quantitative targets for the share of renewables in the electricity mix consistent with a 1.5-degree outcome. We therefore look to all nations to present clear commitments in line with science to clearly define their paths to reach that goal. This includes Indonesia, a nation richly endowed with natural energy resources, which makes it a significant player in the international energy industry. This means it can play a very influential role with respect to leading the transformation to cleaner forms of energy, which all nations must accomplish. While reliance on domestic coal and imported oil has increased, Indonesia has seen progress in renewable energy, with hydropower being the most abundant source. We need to build on that momentum. The steps I outlined above, especially with respect to developing long-term strategies to inform the preparation of a strong and robust NDC, are crucial to this. We recognize this transformation is extremely difficult, but it's absolutely necessary for the long-term survival and prosperity of your nation, your region, and for humanity as a whole. Colleagues, time is of the essence. We must take more immediate proactive climate action, not just for ourselves, but for our children. Perhaps the most startling statistic I have recently read is from a UNICEF report that found 1 billion children, nearly half the world's children, are at extremely high risk from the impacts of the climate crisis. We simply cannot allow such a grim prognosis to stand. It is clear we don't have a moment to lose. Action taken now can get us back on track and secure the well-being of people and our planet. I am confident that together we can do so. Thank you.